One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
Welcome back. Tonight could be one of those nights, so how you doing?
Wait, you mean we're not going to talk about Andrew Peasley and Adrian Martinez and guys like that?
Oh, we'll get into that.
I mean,
after all the Reddick stuff.
You know, it's just like you like to enjoy summer, right? You enjoy the summer. I enjoy the summer. You go to the shore, you enjoy some football, baseball. It's always a fun time of year, right? Football season's around. Aaron Rodgers is back. Sauce, Brees, Garrett Wilson, all these amazing highlights. Braylon Allen, big guy. It's just, there's always something, man. It's like, right? There's
what they do. It's what they do, man.
You can't have extended happiness. It's got to be like a 2-week caveat or something. Like, all right, 2 weeks, Jet fans are happy. We've got to make them miserable somehow, right? You have like an injury scare or somebody, and then we have this nonsense.
We couldn't even enjoy the preseason win for more than 48 hours. Like no injuries. Like Saleh gave the report today. A few guys nicked up, but everyone's pretty much okay. And then an hour later, we get the Reddick news. So here we are.
This is just bizarre. It's bizarre on so many levels. And now it's just, I know there's fans that are divided. Some are taking Reddick's side. Some are taking the team side. Some just hate everything and saying same old Jets like we got right here. I guess, do you want to go back to the beginning where this all started?
Where do you think it all started? I'm curious.
When the trade happened.
I think this goes even further back. I mean, you got to talk about when they could have re-signed Huff 2 years ago. And then the draft pick of Will McDonald, a 14th overall pick that in year 2 you should be relying on as an every down player who's not that yet, which ultimately I think forced the trade, trying to find a stopgap option, trying to justify the draft pick. So
I'm with you. No, dude, I listen, we openly talked about all last year. Get Huff done. Get Huff done. 2 years ago, get Huff done. Be proactive. Keep one of your own. You're watching him blossom in your own defense. The Jets were arrogant. They played him in all kinds of preseason games. They did all this different stuff. They didn't even try. They let him go. They let him walk. Pretty much gave him and based on whatever reason you believe, they don't make an attempt to save him. So their pivot move was, all right, you know what? We're going to go out and get Reddick. We're going to trade for Reddick. Now, the story behind this is Reddick was unhappy in Philadelphia. The numbers that people are talking about now are the same numbers he said in Philadelphia. You go back and look at the reports, $25 million a year. He was literally unhappy. In his eyes, back-to-back Pro Bowl years, ridiculous numbers. The pass rusher market completely took off. He outplayed his contract financially, especially with no guaranteed money. And primetime, the minute the Jets told us he would come here happily under his current contract, we called bullshit. Because it's just no way it's going to happen, dude.
At the very least, I thought he would still be in the building as they tried to work things out. Maybe there wasn't any kind of agreement on that, but at the very least, I thought as a new player that they just traded for, he would at least show up to the mini camps and OTAs and at least be in the building as they tried to work something out. And the fact that it was reported today, they haven't even sent a new offer since March or something. They haven't even been talking contract. A week ago, we heard there was progress. So what was that about?
Dude, the Jets.
It's so confusing, man.
The Jets expose themselves. Let's be honest. And I'm not taking sides. I think both sides are at fault here. But everybody is just pounding on Reddick. There's two sides of the story. And the reports are coming out. First, the Jets said they were not going to discuss contract. He was happy to come here under his current deal. Then they made an offer. He turned it down. Now, Diana Rossini saying it was a lowball offer. Some saying it was whatever offer. The fact of the matter is, before the trade happened, primetime, he turned down their offer. Red flag, right? It's got to be all right.
And even more so, it was a 2026 draft pick. What was the hurry to get a deal done? Exactly. If you knew he was already unhappy in Philadelphia and he already turned down whatever your offer was prior to the deal, what was the friggin' rush to get this thing done?
because they wanted to offset the loss of Huff and they wanted to find a pass rusher. But like, I'm with you, dude. Like, the stories don't line up. And slowly but surely, the Jets are adding more to the story, more to the story, more to the story. Fact of the matter is, you knew he wanted money. It wasn't about winning. He was in Philadelphia. He wanted to get what he thought he deserved, and he earned it. As a free agent, get the money. If you made an offer, you turned it down, I'm with you. All right, listen, you know what? There's no rush. When we can come on terms, we'll make the trade. Until then, let's just sit and wait. Because it's the offseason. There's nothing exactly happening. So they make the trade almost kind of arrogant. Like, you know what? We'll work this out. And primetime, I swear to God, I said this a million times. A week after the trade, when nothing was done, I'm like, that's odd. Because how many times you see a trade happen, then within a couple of days, all right, 3 years, $45 million. But like, you just figure, to me, I assumed it. They'll announce the deal soon. You figure it out. No big deal. Nothing. And then you're like, all right, OTAs comes, doesn't show up. And you're like, dude, this is not going in the right direction. You have, and then it's like, well, who said what? Who said what? It doesn't matter at this point because now the trade is done. You have a guy here that's unhappy. And now you're kind of stuck in a win now year where, to me, I'm not discounting Reddick, dude. He's a very, very good player that makes this team a very good defense, excellent, because it's an explosive pass rusher. Now the Jets are in a position where you can play all the hard ball you want. You know what? Fuck you. Stay home. We don't care. We're going to hold our stance. That's cool until Jermaine Johnson gets a little nicked up, until Will McDonald gets banged up. Because guess what, primetime? You have no more Huff. You have no more John Franklin Myers. You need this guy on your team and your defense because pass rushing is kind of limited right now. So they can both have these hard stances until something happens, right?
It's a win now year for Saleh. It's a win now year for Joe Douglas. But even more so, I think the Jets do probably have a little bit more leverage only because you're talking about a guy. If he doesn't play this year, he's going to lose $14 million. And then he'll be a free agent turning 31 next year with a year out of football. What kind of contract could he be looking at next year if he doesn't play this season?
No. Let me. This is my point of view. He's playing. I can tell you exactly when he's going to show up once training camp and the preseason's over. Here I am, folks. Here I am. Now I'm here. I don't know shit about the defense. I have no communication with my teammates. I don't know, but I'm here now. Let's talk deal. After he's missed everything. Ready for week one? Now you got to pay him. He's in the building. What are you going to do? You got to pay him. He's there. So he's going to get his money. But it's like, so now he's losing on the way too, because now when he gets a new contract, all he's going to do is offset all the money he's getting fined, right? It's just like.
But I'm curious about his contract though, because I know it's non-guaranteed. It's a game check, right? So if he's not active, does he still get paid? Like if the Jets just keep him inactive?
Once you report, okay. You get paid. Once you report, you're getting paid.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be there. That's why everybody's like, oh, let him sit out the whole year. Dude, no, he's going to report. And then if you want to call him inactive, he's still getting paid. Doesn't make a difference. That's why it's like he's going to get it. He's going to be there. But it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, well, it won't be the best version of Hassan Reddick, which I've also been saying a million times. Whenever he shows up, especially if it's only on a one-year deal without guarantees, or if they don't change something about the structure of this year, how motivated is he really going to be?
Yep.
And if he does get nicked up a little bit, does that become a 2 to 3 week injury instead of just day to day? Like that's the stuff I worry about.
And that's my biggest thing. It's just we'll go through both sides who we give credit for, but it's like the more he misses, this is where I'm the old school fan. Based on all the football I've watched over the 1,000 years, holdouts that get extensive till this late in the preseason, hamstring injuries, groin injuries, it's always those injuries that start lingering up, and you don't get the best version of the player. And the thing is, it's different than anything else because he hasn't fucking been with this team. It's not like he's been here 3 years. Like, all right, he knows the defense, he knows the system. Dude, he knows nothing. So you don't know how he fits in the defense. You don't know his conditioning. You don't know anything other than he wants a lot of money and he has really good stats.
And that's part of why I side a little bit with the Jets. I don't know.
Side with them how?
I'm torn, dude. I'm torn. I don't know.
To me, it's like
anymore because like the reports go back and forth. Like, did he legitimately turn down an offer before the trade happened? If that's so, that's obviously where you blame the Jets.
Yep.
But I don't know. I keep going. It seems like every time a new report comes out, I start to waffle a little bit. So I want to know like what the real conversations were that happened before the trade, before I really start to point fingers. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, it's just that report of the contract the negotiations before the trade set me off. I'm like, that right there just shows. And there's, like you said, there's no rush. Did he have a huge market? And then it's like, if it doesn't go the way you want, you try to go somewhere else to put a pass rusher. Because now you have this cap space sitting out there. Like you can't go out. You had the money sitting there. Because once you reports, all right, now it's on your cap. Now what do you do? Right? So it's ugly, man.
And you got guys in the building too. I said this a week ago. You got guys in the building that are playing on one-year contracts, like Michael Carter. He's on the last year of his rookie deal, making $3 million. He's already banged up. He's playing for a contract. He showed up. He's there.
Yep.
You got Conklin. You got DJ Reed, who have outplayed their contracts. They're showing up. He's never put on the uniform yet. How do you justify that to the locker room? And is it just a matter of 1 year versus a long-term extension? That's like another thing.
But that's something you think about before you make this move.
Yeah.
Like you have the pulse of your team, you have the pulse of your locker room, and it's guys that are up for deals are respected. DJ Reed, ridiculously respected, playing at a Pro Bowl level. Michael Carter II, who is developing into a star in his position, that's definitely earned a contract. Like these are guys, like if they announce the extension for those guys tomorrow, you'd be happy. Like, cool. Conklin give them a couple years. I'm cool with that. Like, right? Like it all makes sense. But this one's just like, man, and now it's like to give Joe Douglas credit, he held his stance. We're not trading him. Cool. Okay. Doesn't mean anything because day by day, both sides are losing. The Jets aren't getting him, and Reddick's not getting paid. So your pissing contest is great. If you feel better about Joe Douglas, that's great. But my opinion is Reddick is important to this defense. I want to see him here. I want to see him play. And if he's not here, Will McDonald, next man up, because then he gets a little dicey with pass rushers, man.
No, I mean, you have some guys that are playing well in a depth role right now, but none of them are game changers the way that Reddick is.
Yeah. So, the Jets standing their ground is great. I mean, either way, I think everybody just looks ridiculous, right? Because now you see all the jokes. There's the first guy, a guy demands a trade, gets traded, and wants to be traded again. And it's like the immediate reaction is, no, I don't think so. But the immediate reaction is only the Jets, right? That's what even I said it. I'm like, only the Jets can inherit a problem that existed somewhere else, right? It's just,
and then on top of it, losing JFM also. I mean,
and Huff.
Yeah. Well, this was supposed to replace Huff, but.
Yeah, I mean, we got it from John. Thank you, John. The Reddick disaster is a perfect summary of the JD regime. Directionless, one mistake leading to another, still a laughingstock. I mean, I wouldn't go that far because when the Jets made this trade, everybody was giving him like A+ for the offseason between the free agency and the draft. You got Mike Williams, you got friggin' Tyron Smith, you made all these quality moves, Tyrod Taylor. I mean, and usually Joe Douglas's history does pretty well in trades.
I think we all wanted to keep Huff, though. I mean, if we're going back to last year, he was arguably one of our top 3 or 4 players on defense. So,
and then this comes back to this. This has to be in the equation.
Yep.
If you don't miss on McDonald, we aren't in a situation. So you're hoping he takes a huge step like Jermaine Johnson did, but
that's the domino right there, though. I mean, that's what led to this.
But this time last year, Jermaine Johnson was tearing up camp. Was he not?
Yeah, he was.
Was Will McDonald doing that right now?
No, he's not.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know how this ends now. I genuinely don't know. Like, because now it's just, if the Jets cave in and give him the money, they look like fools. Oh, you caved into him. If the Jets let him hold out and he misses the entire offseason, then in preseason, they look stupid, right? The Jets can't win right now in my eyes. Is there any way they win in this situation?
I don't think so. Unless they just somehow rework the 1-year contract where it's just, a few extra $1 million in incentives or something like that. But
I don't know, dude. I don't.
Can't believe we're still here.
It's just literally, it's just like you feel good about, like, I was excited to talk about the preseason game. Like, there's a lot of really cool things happening where it's like, you know what? You're seeing pieces to the puzzle that are legitimate. And even guys you didn't expect to play well. And then this comes out, and it's like impossible to no way to just like I just don't get it. In a win now year, like if it means keeping him this year, next year, like you have to make that kind of deal now, but it's like it shouldn't be here on August 12th. It just shouldn't be.
No.
I'm with you, Harold Selmo. There's no clear out of this. There's just not.
No, it's probably going to play out like you said, where he shows up, the last few days of training camp, and he's not in football shape, and then we're talking about injuries most of the year.
Well, they had to trade John Franklin Myers to friggin' afford Reddick.
They can trade back for him now.
Yeah.
Complete the cycle.
And then the thing is, too, it's like, all right, even at this point, what kind of trade compensation would you even get for him? Like, oh, we'll just trade him somewhere. Teams know the situation the Jets are in. You're going to get like a 6th rounder next year. You're not going to get anything for him.
6th rounder in 2027.
Oh, my God. So if you guys want to talk about that, we can. But I'd rather talk about fun things, dude, because the preseason game, to me, was really cool because a lot of things surprised me. And I'll start with the quarterbacks, where We're used to such poor quarterback play where a basic screen pass, we're getting them a lot of credit for. Like, oh, that's really cool. But, dude, these guys did a lot more than that. First of all, they look very comfortable in the offense. Nice passes down the field, good mobility, starting with Andrew Peasley, who I think, dude, they look like they were light years ahead of Tim Boyle and Zach, right? And they're right. Am I being crazy?
No, they look comfortable in the pocket. Martinez, especially. I mean, just his mobility at the end, and both of them executed good drives at the end of the half to put up some points there. So I thought they looked good. I like the chemistry with Peasley and Brownlee. We've seen that a little bit in training camp. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more out of Tyrod Taylor. I know we only had 2 series, but I think we know what we're going to get in him. We've seen that all throughout training camp. He's a veteran. He knows the offense, so I'm comfortable with him too.
And it's cool. Like they have like a vertical game too. Like they made nice throws downfield to Brandon Smith. It was like, all right, like it was fun watching them. Like they didn't look overwhelmed. The moment wasn't too big. Now I understand you're going at second and third stringers, whatever else, but like your first impression was better than anything we saw from Tim Boyle and these other guys we had on our team. Even Zach had at the time. It was like, all right, this is a fun offense to watch. Like I can deal with this. And Tyrod, he may play more this week, but you feel comfortable with him where if Rodgers doesn't have to play, I'm fine with it. Now my question for you is, what do you do with Rodgers, who's now missed a joint practice and a preseason game? I guess we assume he's going to play in this joint practice, right?
Probably. The weather holds up.
Are you kind of saying that's kind of maybe he's got to play the Giant game now because he's missing valuable reps?
Don't need to see him in the preseason.
I do.
Oh, no, you do not need to see him in the preseason. Between all the joint practices, you got Carolina this week as well on Thursday. You're going to have 3 different joint practices, plus the entirety of training camp. He'll be ready to go Monday night against the Niners. You don't need to see him in the preseason. We saw it last year. I don't think that drive meant anything. He doesn't need to be on the field.
See, the problem with signing, example, a Carl Lawson is you have Reddick's cap space is going to be there. Like he's going to take up, like you can't, we're going to spend this money because once he reports, you own the money.
Carl Lawson's a Cowboy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, even better. But I'm saying it's like you can't go out and go try to sign.
A week ago, we posted, I think, that he was signing with the Cowboys.
But you can't go out and sign somebody else. That money's being allocated. You either got to find a way to get it done. That's cash basis is being lost. So you have the quarterbacks you felt comfortable with. To me, a huge story was the running backs, man, where Braylon Allen, like the thing is, like you guys see him at practice, stuff like that, and you see, but I'm like, I want to see it on the field in a game and how he looked at opposing defense. Bro, he's enormous and he's fast. And it's like, when he goes downhill, it's like he's going to just truck people.
You saw the picture of him next to Isaiah Davis, right? Who was listed as like 6'1", 220. Like unbelievable, dude. Just the way he finishes those runs. I keep saying it, but I dream about him in the fourth quarter of games where we have a 2-score lead and you just throw him out there and he's just running over a tired defense. I would love to see that. I love what we saw from Zay Davis also out of the backfield. I thought his hands looked good, a lot quicker than I expected. Still haven't seen a whole lot out of Izzy, but I think he'll get his chance the next 2 games.
The most important thing with me with the running backs was, can they catch the ball in the backfield and can they block? And they both exhibited really good hands. Davis made a great catch over the middle. You're like, oh shit, that was like they looked.
And some yards after the catch too.
Yeah, it's like they look smooth. Izzy came in the fourth quarter. He had his touchdown, but it's just like it just seems like the Jets are sour on him now. Now he's like he's not he's fourth man on the depth chart. Does he have a value in special teams? Does he value everywhere else? Because how does he justify keeping his roster spot?
Yeah, I think Allen and Davis are clearly your 2 and 3, which is why, like, even though they're rookies, they probably need the experience. I'd rather see a little bit more of Izzy and then also Deion Jackson, the veteran they picked up last week. Let those 2 battle it out if you're going to plan on keeping a 4th running back.
Yeah, I mean, Izzy, you're hoping maybe with the new kickoff rules, which I hate the new kickoff, but maybe he's got value there with his speed. But
they got Davis back there too.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a hard go for him. Looking at the offensive line, not really big stories there. It's great to see Olu playing so much. But now, what are your thoughts on him playing at right tackle now in practice?
I'm good with it.
Are you?
You have 2 tackles right now that are on 1-year contracts. What happens if Moses gets hurt? What happens if Tyron Smith ends up signing for another year next year? He wants to come back because he had so much fun this year. Then what? You have Olu on the bench again, and he's not ready to play right tackle. He's learning it next year. Get him the experience. Whatever happens this year, make sure he's ready to go. He should be your next tackle up. You took him 10th overall.
But is that an indictment on Carter Warren and Max Mitchell and everybody else that they? You don't think so?
No. Those guys have both looked good in camp, I think. I mean, Mitchell's been solid. He's been, getting to the next level on run blocks. Warren, I know he had the penalty on Saturday, but he's looked pretty solid as well. Had a few other good blocks where he stole the wall some guys. I'm comfortable with the tackle depth.
Yeah, I mean, now it's interesting. And then Tippmann played a little bit. He looked smooth. It's like, all right, like it's like second and third string alignments. You're not taking too much out of it. Not a lot of starters. I'm guessing Tippmann will probably play more this week. And then You would think the third game, the Giant game, all 5 starters play together, at least for a series with Tyler. They have to, right?
Probably.
They got to play together sometime, man.
They do in training camp all the time.
It's different, though.
It's not that different.
It's different.
I don't trust that turf. I don't.
Well, look how many injuries the Commanders have. They lifted with a couple, like 3 or 4 guys, right?
Yeah.
Brutal. So running backs is encouraging. Offensive line, not really a lot to say there. Tight end group is interesting because they're banged up. Ruckert's banged up.
Yeah.
They're doing different things with Yeboah. But that's where it's like now you know why they signed Ferkser, right? Because I think they're getting a little thin there. I think that's a position we may want to keep an eye on, right? I think you have to.
Yeah, I was intrigued by Kuntz, and then he had the bad drop, heads up play by Corley though, making that catch. That was pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's a battle right now between Kuntz and Yeboah. If you're going to keep a 4th tight end, I think Ferkser's probably locked into that 3 spot because he could also play fullback, so you have some versatility there. But I want to see Ruckert back out there a little bit. I mean, we forget that he's still a guy that kind of has to prove it a little bit. We've all liked the flashes that we've seen, but he's still a young 3rd-year player that still has to go out there and do it.
He gets banged up a lot, man. Salas, he had a variety of things he's dealing with. I'm like, oh, great. Whenever Salas says that, I don't buy the back in 2 days kind of thing. That to me is like, all right, that's 2 weeks.
At least a week.
Yeah. You can't trust a thing he says. So tight end group is kind of interesting behind Conklin, where I like Ruckert. Got to stay healthy. Right now he's not. Yeboah, I think, probably is a step up because I think they seem to like Yeboah a lot. He's evolving as a blocker.
He's been here since 2021. So yeah. Kept him around long enough.
Wide receiver is interesting because you didn't see, obviously no Wilson, no Lazard. Corley, I think slowly but surely is trying to find his way. Where they're just trying to learn the NFL, learn the offense. Brownlee with the touchdown pass. I think, the head was it Brandon Smith, I think, had the 1 touchdown, the 2 long catches. But it's like you kind of want to see more, right? You want to see maybe more of these young guys develop, or is it just the running game is being featured so much you didn't see a lot of pass catchers?
I think the Jets are going to be a ground and pound first team. I thought Corley looked pretty good. You can see a little bit at times he was maybe trying to do a little bit too much. I think that's something that when the game slows down a little bit, he'll be just fine. He has pretty much that same mentality as Braylon Allen, just looking to run guys over after the catch. So I love that. With Brandon Smith, I just wonder whether or not because he just got signed a week ago. Is he going to be able to do enough over the next 2 weeks to take a spot from Brownlee or Gibson, who have been here now for a full season? And I know Gibson's just working his way back. Yep. Brownlee had the nice touchdown after a slow start to training camp. He's been good the last 2 weeks. So I just wonder if it's even possible for him to take a spot, because those 2 catches that he had at the end of the game were phenomenal.
They were incredible.
Yeah. So clutch moments too.
So Bub says, Salah answering all the questions tomorrow is going to be a train wreck. No, it's not. It's going to be very easy. He's going to be like, that's a joke question. That's a joke question. That's out of my hands. I can't speak to that. I don't really know. Because he ain't going to answer a freaking question. And the only thing he's going to say is, once he gets in the building, I'll deal with that. I'm going to focus on the players that are here. That's what he's going to say, right? That's
same recycled lines. Yeah, you nailed it.
Uh-oh. Clancy, I'm ashamed to say I met Primetime last Thursday and forgot to take a picture with him. It was early and I was blazed.
That's fine. If I felt comfortable taking my phone out, I would have, but I don't want anybody yelling at me.
Security swarming around you. So offense, a lot of highlights, a lot of young players contributing, which is cool. Defense with some interesting players. And the first one for me is Leonard Taylor, man. Yep. Leonard Taylor looked like an absolute savage out there. They got 2 tackles for a loss, a sack, but he looked physical. He looked explosive. And again, you want to see how to practice translate to a game. And that, dude, it was a big moment. And that's a good starting point for him.
Oh, absolutely. And, he was a guy that, we were all intrigued about when he signed as an undrafted free agent. He was viewed as one of their top signings. And for the first couple of weeks of training camp, hadn't really noticed him all that much, hadn't noticed Bruce Hector all that much. And those were the 2 guys that were making, a lot of the plays, along with Eric Watts, who's been a standout most of training camp. So it seems like they got some depth. And, we haven't even talked about Tanzel Smart, Tack McKinley, who got off to the hot start. So I feel like they have a nice little competition brewing there.
But you kind of wanted to see what Tack McKinley was doing in practice in the game. Like, he had the one play where he over pursued and went past it. And it's not like he's a rookie, man. He's been in the NFL a while. It's like, listen, dude, you should know better. So I think there's some pressure on him in the next couple of weeks to get, kind of translate to the game. Tanzel Smart, I like him, and he did it right. But the player, obviously, everybody's looking at is Will McDonald, where it's like, all right, him and Clemens got a pretty good amount of time. Where it's like, all right, so with Reddick not here, it looks like Clemens is ahead of what you call it? How's his name again? We talked about McDonald. So it's like, all right, what is he going to do? Are they sticking out with second and third stringers? How'd they look? McDonald had the 1 sack, but then he put his body weight in the guy and got the penalty. What'd you think about these guys, man?
Well, without Jermaine Johnson, it forced both of them to start. I think when the season starts, the plan would be for Michael Clemens on first, second down, or maybe even somebody else if Clemens ends up, getting cut. For him to play early downs, and then you bring in McDonald when you need the speed going up against the pass. But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, but he didn't really have a whole lot of pass rushing opportunities. I think they threw the ball like 5 times when he was in there. So hard to really judge that. I did like the spin move though.
But yeah, that's like I think
that's all he's got though. Also,
I was just gonna say,
right? Yeah.
It's like you use that move against like the second and third stringers. I haven't seen it before. You get a quality like Trent Williams in front of you. He ain't falling for that nonsense. He's gonna grab you, and hold you there, and throw you to the ground.
And once word starts getting out that that's all he's going to do, or that's his main move, then teams are going to be ready for it. So
yeah, so that's kind of where those two guys got continue to step up. Linebackers, I think it was Barnes and Chaz Surratt. Sal loves Surratt for his speed, but he always gets hurt. And then Barnes kind of the same way too. Barnes seems to always get banged up as well. But they have, you see good speed at linebacker flying around. You feel comfortable with Sherwood back there. But is there anybody else at linebacker that kind of got your eye?
I mean, I like Barnes and Surratt. I love both of their athleticism, their speed, their sideline to sideline guys, pretty solid in coverage. But yeah, they both get banged up a little bit. So I'm wondering if that kid, what's his name, Guavin, he was there last year a little bit on special teams, somebody that can play there a little bit. I wonder if he can maybe push either one of those guys. So something to watch there.
Now, the corner position is really interesting because obviously you have your 3 starters that are very good. You have Eccles, who everybody likes, but, he's been around a while. He's on last year's deal. But Bernard Converse, who got beat for a touchdown, but it was excellent coverage. He looked, dude, the conversion from safety to corner has been like just seamless. And he looks good, man. He looks really good. We're like, you know what? That's a guy you keep an eye on, right? Because he's competing.
No, he actually gets his head turned around, locates the football, and he was right on his receiver, even on the long completion. And then to bounce back from that, and pretty much, I don't think he gave up a reception the rest of the game. So he was locking it down. And then even Stiggers, flying in on that one run stuff, he looked good there. And he's been solid all training camp. I think he's ready to play. So you could arguably say, when you factor in Eccles also, you got 6 corners that you could trust being on the field, which is a nice problem.
I thought Trey Swilling played pretty good too. Like they have some good guys. You don't like him?
I did until he gave me the Kyle Wilson. That turned me off. You didn't see that one play? The receiver was like 4 yards away from him, dropped the ball, and he was going, no. I'm like, no, this doesn't end well.
I didn't. I probably did. I didn't even. I was happy he made a play.
I was like, that's it.
Other than that, I mean, special teams. What are your thoughts on the kickoff rule?
It sucks.
It's just weird, right? It's just so weird.
I don't know if it's going to result in like more returns, or I don't know how it's going to play out. I feel like some of the teams that are well coached on special teams, which should be the Jets, can maybe take advantage of it after a couple weeks and getting the hang of it. But it's just weird to watch.
So other than that, special teams, like return game, you didn't see much. You saw these guys not taking fair catches and taking huge hits. Like Isaiah Davis, I don't know what the hell he was doing. He got smoked. Yeah. And you can see Salah being like, don't you just wave that off? Like, why are you taking these big hits?
How about Zerline? Kick was good for like 76.
That's the
I don't think there's any chance. And Salah probably answered it already when he talked about giving Seibert an opportunity to get noticed by other teams. But he's been doing all the kickoffs. You don't think there's any chance they would keep 3 kickers, right?
Oh, I hate that. What the kickoff specialist?
Yeah, you don't think they would do that, right?
I would hate that, dude. I hate that. I mean,
I don't think I've seen Zerline do 1 kickoff yet in training camp.
Really?
Yeah.
They preserving his leg?
I don't know.
Could you imagine? But I mean, overall preseason game number 1, there's not a lot to complain about, man. They could, some penalties, but they look, the young guys give you a lot of hope and a lot of like ability. So you're all right, we have more playmakers and just keep growing on it and keep developing. But I was encouraged, man. I walked away, especially the quarterbacks, man. I was like, all right, we got a quarterback room now. Because Jordan Travis ain't gonna play this year. So maybe these one guys can stick around and learn. It's cool.
You think they're gonna keep 3?
But even if you put Martinez on the practice squad, who cares?
Well, yeah, that I definitely expect one, if not possibly both of them, to land on the practice squad. I was just wondering if any would make the 53.
I don't think so, right? I mean, if you're down Rodgers and Tyrod, this season's over anyway. Like if it gets to that point, we're just mailing it in, just run the football 80 times a game. So overall,
I think there's too many other positions that you got to keep guys at. I don't think you keep 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, 100%. So overall, a good first week preseason. And unfortunately, the Reddick thing's taking all the headlines. Nobody gives a rat's ass about what we're talking about right now. They want to call in and yell about Reddick and complain, which I understand. But we want to embrace the positivity first, right?
I was in such a positive mood too before all this. Like I love being out there for the joint practice also. Like saw some good things there. It's like, and then you hear all this. I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah, it's just, and honestly, I don't know how they resolve it other than
No.
it's just, let's see. I really want to see Jordan Travis play. Can he play? You're not going to see him play this year.
Highly doubt he's going to play this year. That was a pretty bad injury that he suffered last year with the broken leg. I don't see any reason to try to rush him back. Like there's no reason you want him on the field this year. So yeah, I think they're just going to keep him on the inactive list, and then you'll see him next year.
Yeah, I mean that's just. Does anyone know what happens to the future draft compensation? The Jets cut Reddick. Well, it was a conditional. Yeah,
it would just be a third-round pick, right?
Yeah, it's conditional trade, so that's you get the pick, but it's in 2026.
Yeah. What is Joe Douglas there? He's not going to be here anyway.
Don't get me started. So I'll share the link. You guys want to call in? Want to talk about Reddick? Talk about whatever you want. Share your thoughts on the game. It's cool. Let's see what we got here. Oops. That's the link. Will Tippmann play all preseason games? Will we see Lazard more? I think Tippmann will.
Yeah. I think Lazard's probably going to play too a little bit.
Yeah, he's having a great game. I think the more Tyrod plays, I think more of some of these other guys will start playing as well. So, all right, prime time. Now we got to go to our. Now the question is, Afram has had all this time as our cap expert to figure out the ramifications of this Reddick thing. You know, game by game, what happens? Does the Jets' cap space get eaten up as each game goes by? Because it does. But let's see what he brings to the table. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, if he doesn't give us what we need, we may have to reevaluate this position and maybe kind of change his title, I think, right?
Possibly.
Reevaluate all you want. Am I going to quit my job so I could provide you with up-to-date salary cap?
I mean, it's a big story. It's the biggest story going out right now.
The story is it's, to me, what I would do, go seek a trade. Give you permission to seek a trade. And then see what you're going to get out of it. Exactly. Seek a trade. Make a trade. Go find a team that wants you, and then we'll work.
So what if he finds a team that's willing to pay him? Doesn't he just have more leverage now?
And who's going to pay him? Everyone knew he was on the market. Philly made it clear. Who was the only one that went after him?
Jets.
End of story. You're going to pay a 30-year-old $25 million? You know they're not going to do that.
No.
So how do you resolve this then?
All right, seek a trade. Find out. You got 2 weeks. You don't have 2 weeks. I expect you to be on camp. You'll know your value. You'll know your value then.
But that's not how this is going to work though. He's going to be at the end of camp regardless. Right now, he's probably saying once the preseason's over, everything's done, he's going to show up and be like, all right, I'm here. Then we're stuck with him.
And probably say I'm hurt. My leg is the usual.
Yeah, so you're going to pay him how much? $14 million for the year, and he's going to be either hurt or doesn't want to play.
And it'll be 31.
So you're cool with that. So now you're going to say,
it's not a matter of being cool. There's what other solution is there?
But that's the question. So
there isn't. They're not going to pay him.
So then
otherwise they would have already.
You're stuck with the guy that you want to have this pissing contest with. Meanwhile, you have Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald as your pass rushers, and that's it.
Oh.
So you let your defense kind of suffer while you have this contest in a win now year.
My question is, even if you pay him, is he going to give you 100% at that point either?
That's why this fucking trade doesn't make any goddamn sense right now.
But it happened. It happened.
So then what do you do? Do you double down on your mistake or you fix your mistake? How do you handle it?
Well, how do you fix it? There's no
At
one
this
out
point,
there.
I just fucking pay the guy.
And what are you going to get out of him?
I'd rather have him at camp on August 15th than September 1st.
But Tyson, when you say pay the guy, are you just talking about reworking this year, or are you giving him 3 years?
No,
he still might be looking for the long-term contract.
Listen, at some point, if you say, listen, we'll give you $20 million guaranteed this year, he ain't turning it down. Because right now he's got nothing. He's got, $14 million, whatever it is?
Yeah.
$20 million guaranteed this year, and see what happens. Like that, there's got to be some kind of answer for it with an option for next year. Like if you get 10 sacks this year, you get 15, whatever the hell it is, something. I'd rather resolve it and be done with it and have him here, not waiting till September to get it done. Because it
seems like they're not even talking though.
They haven't.
Yeah, they're not going to talk to him until he's in the building. And I don't know if they're going to.
Okay, you know what? Then you know what I would do? I would have did this shit 2 weeks ago. The first day of training camp, if I was Hassan Rick, I would have showed up. I'm here. Let's negotiate. But before we negotiate, just so you know, I'm not practicing. So now I'm in your building. There goes. You can't find me. Like Ayuk is doing. But that's why his management, whoever's managing him, is stupid. Because that's what you, especially in this media market with this fan base, show up. So the Jets' excuse now is he's not in the building. We can't negotiate. Okay, I'm in the building now. Now what? I want $25 million a year. They're still not going to give it to him. Then what does he do? Doesn't practice. So the Jets look stupid again. Their only leverage right now is he's not in the building. That's the only leverage they have. But once he shows up, they have nothing else to do. But how you have to get a deal done?
We'll see if he shows up, though. That's the only thing. That's the next step. Is if he shows up.
Because he should. Because after if he shows up, he can't get fined.
No, I get you, but he hasn't showed up. If he's going to come this Saturday, right? Let's see if he comes this Saturday.
I was shocked he missed. I'm shocked he missed.
That's what I'm saying. It's just he's doing. I don't know if it's on him or is on his agent. Someone, it doesn't benefit him.
And I didn't even realize this until Ed told me the other week. His agent is the same as Joe Douglas's. Like, what are those conversations like behind the scenes? I mean, if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm going off on my like. How do you set me up to look like an asshole like this?
That's why something doesn't add up.
If that's the case, then it's on Reddick making that decision. Right?
I mean, because for him, it's like you figure the money he's losing in fines, he's going to be offset. Any contract he gets, he's losing this money now. You got to pay back, the fines you got to pay back. You can't rescind them.
Exactly. So
it's just odd. I don't know how they rectify it, man. Because either way, it's like somebody's caving. Is Reddick going to cave or the Jets going to cave? And the Jets are so worried about their public image right now because now they want to be like their hard asses. I don't know.
Listen, you got traded. You should be playing your contract, but that's how they're looking at it. No, I'm saying that's how they're looking at it.
He agreed to that. He did not agree to that. There's no way. How is it possible?
I don't know.
If he's unhappy in Philadelphia under the same contract, why would he be happy with the Jets? There's no way he said that. It's impossible with no guaranteed money.
I want to know why the Jets had the impression that he was going to be there in minicamp as they worked on it. Like, was that actually talked about before the deal, or did the Jets just make that up out of thin air? Because that to me is like kind of the dividing line here. Yeah, if they thought he was going to be there as they worked it out, and him just not showing up is why they're kind of digging their feet in, makes a little sense. Then I don't know.
Man. He's not saying anything.
Well, I mean, that's stopped today because Diana Rossini started releasing stories now. So now the agent's starting to talk. So, and it's convenient how the Jets on game day, the guy in the picture is Will McDonald. I think they were praying he had a big game. Like, we don't need you. We got Will McDonald. But now you got to hope that these guys don't get hurt. Because once one of these guys gets banged up, then
you hope no one gets hurt.
What I'm saying is if Jermaine Johnson or Will McDonald gets banged up, you're going to be like, oh, shit, now what do we do?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens the next game. See how well they play. They're playing Carolina, so he could end up having a great game against them. And maybe a lousy game on the third preseason. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I just can't believe we're here.
Yeah, no, we're here, but it's it's the Jets.
But so now, what is your take on Aaron Rodgers? So he missed the joint practice. He missed the preseason game. Do you obviously you can practice this week against the Panthers? Do you want to see him play in the Giant game?
I like to see him against Carolina.
Me too.
To be honest with you, I like to see the whole starting lineup for at least 1 or 2 series.
Yep, me too.
I don't follow this or if he gets hurt. He can get hurt game 1 like we saw last year. What's the difference?
It's true.
There's nothing.
What is the chances of getting hurt in this game versus getting hurt in a regular season game?
What's the difference between preseason and training camp? Honestly,
live action. You have the offensive line in front of you that hasn't played together yet.
You're gelling. You're playing with the team. Yeah.
Yeah, working your cadence.
You can play cautiously. You can play more cautiously that way as a quarterback.
Run the ball 8 times. Yeah,
that's all. But you got to see what's in front of you in pads. I just really, if this is the time you're playing pads again, another team in pads, you need to gel. And I don't see what's the difference between playing in a preseason game and a regular season game? If you get hurt in the preseason versus getting hurt in the regular season game, I don't see the difference. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. You'll probably get more hurt playing playing starters. If they're gonna, if Carolina's gonna put their second and third strings, you have a better chance of surviving than you playing their first string or any team's first string, right?
Especially he hasn't played in a year. He hasn't played in a year.
Yeah, you need to gel with, put that your 5 starters and O-line and play with them. That's it.
Because the worst thing is to not play, and then week 1, 49ers coming after you, just complete chaos. You're like, you're overwhelmed. Everybody's out of sync and no communication. And that's what problems happen.
So two series is not going to make or break you.
Yep.
You know, it could be 3 and out and 3 and out, and you're done. Move on. But
It
at
only
least
took
you
4 plays
you
week
get
1.
to see what your was that.
So it only took 4 plays week 1, so 2 series actually.
But it was a
break
regular season game,
I
so
know.
did it make a difference? He did play. Did he play preseason last year at all?
I just don't
Right.
think the risk is worth it.
But what is the risk? This is what I'm asking you. What is the
Injury,
risk?
getting hurt on that.
Okay, so
MetLife
if he gets hurt now versus getting hurt in the first game or second
At
game,
least it's
he
in a
gets
meaningful
hurt.
game. I mean,
Hurt is
you
hurt.
expect him to be out
It
there.
doesn't make a difference when it happens.
Games. You don't need to see him in the preseason.
Well,
He's
what
getting all the
happens if
work.
he's hurt
he needs
again
to
in the
do
first
training
game and he's out for 4 weeks. What's the difference?
You got 2 more joint practices plus 2 more weeks of
I'm
training
just
camp.
saying.
Like you can get him all the reps you need to get him on your practice field at Florham Park, 1 Jets drive. You don't need to see it at MetLife. You don't need to see that.
I still don't see the. I don't see.
And I was all for it last year. Last year, I wanted to see him out there, get the jitters out, put on the Jets uniform, do it in live game. I was all for it last year. This year, you don't need to see it.
He can practice at Florham Park and still get hurt in practice, right?
You get hurt anywhere.
Why practice then?
I'd rather make sure. I'd rather just hope that the offense is all on the same page. Work out the kinks, get your cadence. The cadence apparently a really big thing. You have a whole new offensive line here working out, try to work everything out. Run the ball, get the ball to Braylon Allen, get the ball to Breece Hall, whatever you want to do. A couple series, get in, get out, get off the field, get the rust off. Man, he hasn't played in a year. Last year, he only played
says you want to play, you want to get hit.
Yep.
You want to get that feel. You can't go in because now, in essence, you're going to start playing in the first game. It's going to be more like a preseason game anyway because you're getting, you're getting the rust out of your body.
Yeah, who was the guy that was coming after Rodgers last year? I forget his name. The one that
Giant
Rodgers
player?
didn't even know. Yeah, the Giant player, defensive.
I did not yet. I had one, but Tyson doesn't like it, so forget it.
Listen, we strive for perfection on this show. We have very high goals on this show.
But you gotta. I do believe you gotta play. You have to play. You have to.
So Ryan says if Rodgers gets hurt now, they can't sell season tickets. I got a news flash for you, Ryan. They can't sell season tickets anyway.
Exactly.
Did you see the preseason game? All they do is ticket commercials. It's just,
exactly.
There might not have been 5,000
winning.
people in that building.
You got to win. You got to win. That's how you're selling season tickets.
Yep.
But let's go to the preseason game. I tell you, I mentioned that to you. This kid Braylon Allen really is very impressive. Very impressive. He's got that speed and that size. I'm telling you, 1-2 punch.
It's like a perfect complement to Breece. He's big. He can be like your short yardage, your goal line back. Prime time is right too. The fourth quarter, he can just wear down a defense. He's going to steal your soul in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and if you ground and pound, man, that's less time. That's more time your defense sits.
Yep. I agree.
Okay. And that can compensate for not having that pass rusher either. You can start blitzing more.
That's a good comparison. Brandon Jacobs, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think he's probably faster.
He looks like a defensive end like that.
And the more he plays, the more he's gonna, and he's playing with the second line. Imagine playing with the front line that we have and see what he can do.
Yep.
That's why you want to have him playing behind this first front line and see what kind of hole they open for him and see what he does with it.
Well played, Afram. See, now you're making a good case to convince primetime.
Yeah.
Second string offensive line, though, you could say is better than their starters last year. And Salah, I don't know if you heard it today in his press conference. He was about to say it, and he stopped himself. I don't know if you caught that.
He caught himself.
He was like, they're better, and he started to just compliment individuals.
But they are. There's no denying it.
No, exactly. He was going to say it out loud, and then he caught himself.
Hey, listen, everyone's saying it. You're getting paid no matter what. So, it's you're professional now.
Yes, sir.
But listen, I would do it, but they're so worried about people getting hurt. There's a good chance they can get hurt early if they're not.
You look at all the quarterbacks that played this weekend. Burrow played, Mahomes played, Josh Allen played. Quarterbacks are playing.
Exactly. They need to get into that rhythm. I don't care that he's 40.
Nope.
Okay.
Can't be scared.
Like I said, you get rid of the ball quickly. Just be a little cautious and run the ball more. See what you have in the running backs.
100%.
You don't have to even have. You don't even have to throw anything.
He just hates you.
Just run the shit out of the ball.
So if you're not even going to have him throw the ball, what the fuck is the point of the risk?
You're working on your cadence. You're working on your snaps. You're working on offensive line for the first time.
Come on, it's not
getting everybody in sync.
It's not worth it.
But what happens if he's running the ball most of the game against the 49ers and it's successful?
Yeah,
Why
and
have
all
him
the-
in there?
all
Because
those
he's not
snaps
throwing
and
the
all those
ball.
handoffs, he's going to do hundreds
Okay,
of
but
times.
if
from
they're
now
running the
until
ball
week
and they're
one.
successful, they're going to keep running the ball until they stop him, right?
Yeah,
So if he's not
and
throwing
we're
the
gonna work
pass,
on
why
those
we have
snaps,
him in
work
there?
on
We
those
could give him
handoffs
Martinez,
every
give him
single day from
the
now until
handoff.
Monday night.
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know.
You know what it is? It's easy to say this now until week one. The Jets offense looks completely out of sync. They haven't played the entire preseason. Like, oh, no.
And that's going to be the reason why.
Yeah, because he hasn't played like
Also,
God.
that week of mini camp that he missed also in Egypt. That's probably the reason why also, right?
Well, that's some reporters. Listen, OTAs I don't care about, but I'd like to see him like. But I guess we'll see how much he plays in the joint practices, some nice weather and everything else.
I mean, this week is in beautiful weather, but like I said, things happen in training camp, right?
To be honest with you, I'd rather him play this week against the Panthers than against the Giants. The Giants got a pretty defensive line. I'd rather see against the Panthers where you can kind of push him around a little bit and just get some work.
2 series, get out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't trust the MetLife turf.
I mean, you saw the guy slipping on Saturday. They're slipping around. Like, it's just.
Even I think Braylon Allen or Zay Davis on one play, they fell. I think it was Davis actually.
Davis did. He slipped a couple times.
Yeah.
And then a one corner kept Stiggers fell the one time he tried to cut back. He fell.
Yeah.
After, so your parting words of wisdom before we let you go.
Let's hope for the best.
2024 year to the Jets.
Every year is the year of the Jets, as far as I'm concerned.
And Reddick, you trust?
No, I don't trust him.
ETA.
This poor guy. I cannot. This guy is walking into just a firestorm. When he comes back, the fans hate him. The media's ripping him. It's going to be a disaster. It's just not going to end well.
He's got to realize that, at his age, he's not getting a long-term contract.
But that's not true. I mean, he's earned it at 29 years old. He's earned a huge contract.
There's a lot of people that earned it, but they're not getting it. So what he's going to be, he's going to be a one-year guy every year. 1 year guy, make his money.
To be fair, usually players in this situation get it from the team that they're on.
Right.
You know what I mean? The team keeps their own pass rusher, except the Jets, they let Huff go, and the Eagles already got Huff. They didn't need him. So now he's getting traded to a team that never saw him play before.
They got Huff because they got him cheaper than they were going to give this guy. Okay. So, but they basically told him, we're not paying you.
We first guessed this too.
You're not 25 years old. You're not 26 years old. I'm not going to give you $25 million at 29, 30 years old. And then,
but they knew that's what he wanted.
Huh?
They knew that's what he wanted, though. You knew what the story was before you got him.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's not like he's blindsiding him with the whole new contract demand. This has been obvious for a year.
We'll find out soon enough what the deal's going to happen.
He's going to find out shit till September. He's not coming.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he even comes in September.
No, I guarantee it, dude. I
will guarantee anything.
I will guarantee once.
What's he lose out for the if he misses the next two? What about the totals up to about $3 million?
Yeah, he's like what was it 900,000 a game?
Something like that.
Yeah. It's another probably 2
No,
million.
But up to now, all his fines. If he misses all preseason, I think it's like 2.7.
Yep.
2.8 million. It's a lot of money just that you're never going to recuperate.
Yep. But also, and just to Clancy's point, it says we have him by the balls, keep him on ice, he'll show up eventually. Yeah, you may have him by the balls, finding him, and when he shows up at his contract price, he's going to be not the player you want because he's not going to be in shape or ready to play. So you're going to have a guy you're paying a lot of money for that can't play and contribute.
He'll complain his balls hurt.
While he's making huge money.
Yeah. He'll be getting his $1 million.
But then he's got to also realize that he's hurting himself. Like if he's not in shape and he has a down year, what is he going to get paid next year as a 31-year-old pass rusher coming off a down year?
Exactly. He'll be a 1 year guy, and hope that someone pays him whatever he can at that point.
Watch him say he's going to retire now. Watch, that'll be his next thing.
Trade
me, or I'm retiring. Watch some.
Then if he retires, we recoup that money. No.
Yeah.
But he'll retire like on September 8th.
Recoups the money. I don't know. It's a situation I don't see where there's an amicable solution here.
Nope. No, they're both going to lose. The Jets are going to lose. He's going to lose.
They're going to lose. Exactly right.
Good times. Ephraim, thank you for all the positivity tonight. We appreciate it.
Yeah. 2 series, Kevin. 2 series. Don't go crazy over 2 series.
That's right.
2 3 and outs, and you'll be happy.
Can't play scared.
Exactly. Bingo.
Yeah, week 1, you can't play scared. Let's get to week 1.
Because you're going to be scared because he hasn't played all preseason. Like, oh my God, hope he doesn't do this. Hope they don't do that. Hope the
scared
stats are okay.
Do you think he wants to play?
Rodgers? Hell yeah.
I think he's indifferent.
No, I think he wants to play.
I think
he
wants
knows
to get
he
in
knows
there.
he has rust. I think he wants to get on the field, move around a little bit, and just feel more comfortable.
And like Tyson said, this game is probably better than to play
Yep.
the
I'd rather
Giants.
Panthers than
I'm
the
sure the
Giants.
Giants are going to put their starters in the last game of the preseason just to give
Burns,
them more
Thibodeau.
reps.
Hell yeah. Screw that.
You know?
Afram, have a good night, man.
You too.
Have a good night, Afram.
Take care.
All right. So we went from, do you want more intelligent conversation? Do you want chaos with vacuums? What do you want, prime time?
I'm kind of in the mood for some chaos a little bit.
All right, then. Now, the question is, will Vacuum Man have 2 or 3 vacuums today?
Are they going to be coming out of his ears again?
Or will he have probably one driving by when he's talking or something? What's up, man?
Chaos.
They look like ears.
I mean,
Earbuds.
I like to think that I bring a nice calming presence to stream.
I think he actually shined them. They look shinier today, don't they, prime time? Like he kind of dusted them off and stuff.
Got like the earpiece in it, looks like.
Yeah.
The wires coming out of
Yeah, the
vacuum.
earpiece. Yeah. Here, wait. I dropped my phone. Let me get it.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Okay, the
Who the hell
earpiece.
has 3 vacuums in their house?
What do you? He probably bought one just for the show.
No, that's the car vacuum.
Oh my god, looks like a hairdryer. What are we doing here?
I told you I had the red one.
Red one.
So yeah, we have 3. The amount of, I don't know what else is 3. I was gonna do like a Rogers series joke, but nothing came up. But yeah, where was I? Boo Hassan Reddick. Screw the positivity.
Wait,
Boo
hold
him.
on. Wait. Why are you booing him?
Because I don't like him. Because from a fan perspective, I don't care. I don't care about his money struggles. I get it. He's trying to get one over on the corporations and the teams. I don't care as a fan. When it was with Revis, you could like at least root for him a little because it's like, oh, it's a homegrown guy. I love Revis. I don't know anything about this guy. Boo him. If you see him, it's like the Evan Neal thing with the Giants. If you see him at Willowbrook, boo him. Boo the guy. No, he's doing nothing for us.
So you want to trade him?
No, because that doesn't help us. I'd rather
How
him
does
just
booing
sit there,
help us?
waste his career.
So wait, you want to boo him because you don't like him, but then you're gonna root for him when he plays
No,
on the game.
no, I rather screw him over, even if it means hurting us, than just losing him for nothing.
What are we doing here?
No, no,
This
no. If he wants to play, no, burn all the bridges.
So you're letting your pride get in the way of trying to win
Well-
a championship this year.
Well, it's not getting a 6th round pick for him back doesn't help you in any way, really. I mean, unless you're.
So what's your best case scenario right now?
Oh, the best case scenario is it's the same thing as everyone else. You give him more guaranteed money this year and he comes back, but it's not going to happen.
Why is it not going to happen?
Because from my understanding of it, he wants to get paid a significant amount of money into the future because he knows he's over the peak and everyone else knows he's over the peak.
But we knew this stance back in March. This is
I'm not here to argue why Joe Douglas traded for him. I mean, I'm just from this point on, I'm just from a fan's perspective. Okay, what have you done for me lately? There you go.
Well, what has he done lately? He made back-to-back Pro Bowls.
Not for us. What have you done for us lately? I don't care about the Eagles.
What has Tyron Smith done for us lately? What has Mike Williams done for us lately?
Yeah, they're contributing. They're here. They're here for the team.
They
And
haven't done
in
shit in regular season.
fairness to Tyron Smith, he took a team-friendly deal. He's getting
There
what,
you
6
go.
million guaranteed?
The
With
thing
a
is,
whole bunch
the
of playing
crazy
time
thing is,
bonuses.
unless he gets like a significant like deal, and let's say like past like 2 years, I don't think he's gonna try as hard. Even if he gets the 1 year for this year, if he gets even another year for like a 2-year deal, he's not gonna. No, maybe I could like. Okay, I guess maybe that's not fair, but he's definitely. I can't trust him to give it his all because he's obviously a me first player.
Well, in that scenario, you're going to say if you give him a 1-year deal with a lot of money, you're going to hope that he balls out because he's playing then he's going to be a free agent, a true free agent next year. Then you may get his best effort. But if you give him a 2-year deal, you kind of worried that know what, he mails in this year and then next year he gets paid.
That's the problem with the 2-year deal with going with the Rodgers timeline. Exactly. And then I also I don't know how the contracts line up. I'm not Afram. We got to pay some of the other guys. Wilson, Hall. I don't know, like when it's all the timetable.
They have so many contracts coming up, man. They have probably that was like 17 or 18 guys in the last year of their deal. like in the situation that they'll be free agents next year. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, both your tackles, Conklin, AVT, they picked up the 5th-year option on at least, but Michael Carter.
Reed.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of guys. You got
a lot of guys.
You got 3 vacuums you got to bring back into the
fold. But also you got Sauce can be breaking the bank. You got Garrett. You got Breeze, Tremaine Johnson. All these guys are gonna want money, especially if they have big years this year.
With Sauce and Garrett, I'm hoping that could be pushed off another year because next year would be the year they pick up the 5th-year option. I mean, technically they can still sign him after 3 years, but I think Jefferson got his deal after his 4th year, right? If I remember right.
We'll see how these guys handle that though, man.
Oh,
if you're playing at an all pro, like Sauce playing at an all pro level his first 3 years, you're like, you know what? Pay me. And the Jet fans will be on his side too. Jet fans will be like, you know what? It's one of the best we've seen. You got to pay him.
I mean, I'm honest.
Or it could be structured as like an extension, after the 5th-year option. Like those years could be guaranteed for whatever they were going to pay him, and then the big money comes in after that, which I'd be fine with.
I mean, I was talking about this on the Let's Talk Jets Radio Discord. Hate to plug it a little, but
how's that going?
It's going well. Yeah, you should have seen our reactions to this on Reddick deal. How do you think I found out about it? But I mean, I was talking about this. I just have a really bad feeling that we're going to have to lose one of the main 3 at some point due to the cap crunch. But I mean,
let's talk about this year. Let's not talk about next year.
Okay,
Let's talk about
this year, the game.
Let's talk about how you're. Let's talk about how you're going to handle Reddick. How are you getting this fixed by August 15th?
I mean, besides he doesn't want money this year. We've established that.
Well, and then you just gotta this year.
What?
He wants guaranteed money this year.
Well, I know, but I'm saying he wants more than that because if that's you really think the Jets are not haven't offered him that yet?
I mean, do you think so? Prime time? Do you think they offer him a big deal, like a 20 million guaranteed 1-year deal?
I mean, based on the reports, they haven't even talked contracts since like March, apparently. So
they haven't talked the last couple of weeks, apparently.
Well, then that's a problem in and of itself. But I don't know. I mean, looking at what we have, Reddick aside, was looking at the game. Greg Zuerlein, midseason form, kicking A+. That was one of the. I was like, "There's no way he's going to do that." He goes out there. It's 56 yards, something like that. Crazy. Yep. Then Tyrod Taylor, 3 and out. I got some weird flashes to like the offense last year, but it was only like one drive. I'm not going to make. We've seen him with the Giants. We know what he can do. I'm not going to make too much about that. Same thing with the defense. Like the
wait, hold on. You're going to talk offense and not mention Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis.
Well, I'm getting to them. Starting in the kind of like the first, the second.
You from quarterback to defense. Like, stay on one side of the ball.
Okay, I'll stay on one side of the ball. Fine. I'm not. I told you I don't have a channel. You're like, oh, he probably has a channel. Doesn't look like I have a channel.
You're like a mad scientist. We're trying to collect all your thoughts right now.
Okay. Collecting the thoughts. Running backs look great. Allen definitely can see why he's the second string over Davis, I think. Right. Let's see what else. Yeah, wide receiver group. I don't think Lazar played. I know Brownlee had a drop in the first drive.
He had a touchdown too.
Oh, was he the one who caught the dime from Peasley? Was it Peasley?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was a really. I didn't see who caught that, but yeah, that was a really good throw.
You didn't see who caught the touchdown?
What?
You didn't see who caught the touchdown?
First touchdown.
I was focusing on the throw. Oh, listen.
Tyson, you were watching the throw so intently that you didn't see who caught it?
I have a question for Tyson. Did you? I want to know because you were in Atlantic City. Did you have a chance to watch like the game live, or did you watch it on like the replay? Because I know you watched it. I'm not accusing you of not watching it.
See, I DVR'd it because I knew I couldn't watch it when I was drinking. Having a game at noon on a Saturday in summertime is ridiculous. So I DVR'd it, and when I came home, I watched it and did my video. So I did it right
there. I was like, I think I was out at halftime. I think I got through the first, and then I watched the highlights through it, but I could not. Once they pulled like the second team, I was like, okay, I know Martinez is like a promising player. I know like people rave about him in the UFL.
You didn't even watch Martinez play. You just saw the highlights.
Oh, I saw the highlights. Yeah. What? He was in the second half. I didn't lie.
So now the game's only 2 quarters. Now we're gonna call you 2 quarters.
Okay, you want me to come in here and say and analyze the third string in the first?
If you're gonna give feedback on the players you like and only watch half the game, your feedback isn't really.
Well, I liked him before because I liked the UFL and I liked him playing in the UFL.
Would you like? Okay, so then what'd you like about him in the UFL?
Listen, I'm not gonna come in here and say that I'm a UFL expert.
Out of here. You can't watch half games and give me some lazy ass takes. And then, look, dude, I was in Atlantic City up till 2:00 in the morning. Came home, watched game, did a full evaluation, and then some guys criticized me, like, "Bro, you look really tired." I was like 2 hours of sleep. Like, God damn.
Yeah, I saw that comment pop up. I'm like, damn.
I pinned it too. Like, bro, I literally am on 2 hours of sleep, just putting content up because I didn't want to have like 3 days go by and be like, "Oh, you didn't comment on the game?"
Yeah.
You know how our subscribers are, dude. Like, bro, they play the game. You need to comment. And they get all the direct messages and shit. Bro, you look terrible. Thank you. Jesus Christ. What's up, Dirty?
Hey.
Please say you watched all 4 quarters.
I was at work actually. I was at work, working man. But I will say this: what I do watch, I watch it over and over and over and over again. And let me tell you, Braylon Allen's blocking ability is absolutely ridiculous. He is taking linebackers the size of him and just, you're not getting through here. You're not getting to this dude. It's not happening.
Yep.
Oh, you need me to catch the ball? Cool. Oh, you need me to be 2 bowling balls at the same time and run through these guys? Cool. Give me the ball. It's cool. And Isaiah Davis looks like he's trying to do the same thing. Like it's almost like he's trying to be a mini Braylon Allen, which is kind of funny. And then you got Corley, who didn't get many passes or anything like that, but he got a couple things going on. And I do like Paisley. He looks comfortable.
Yep.
He wasn't scattered. Martinez scrambled very, very well on a few plays, which I did watch.
Mm-hmm.
And Braden Smith, I don't know who that kid is. I
Brandon
looked him
Smith.
up.
Brandon?
I think it's
Brandon.
Braden. It might be Brandon. Dude, he laid out for that thing.
Yep.
He laid out for that ball. That looked really, really good. His
There were
hand,
2 great catches he had.
Yeah, he had 2 receptions, I think, for 70 yards. Like, I'm sitting here driving a mail truck trying to look at the, dude, it's more promising than we think. It's not just speed that we have with the running backs. It's power. Like, we have that. We're gonna knock you the fuck over. Like, get out of my way. We have places to be, and that's behind you. Get out of my fucking way. It looks like they're serious.
Even Allen's cutback ability. I saw the breakdown that Baldwin did. Just planting his feet and cutting back in. I mean,
right to the right side. He had that whole defense shift one way, and he took off right up the middle. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. I am excited. I will say this. I'm excited to see what Aaron Rodgers brings. Okay, now I know we're all excited. That's the easiest thing to say. Okay, and I understand that. That's the easiest thing to say. Tittman has been having problems with his
snaps.
With his snaps, and I get that. He's not the only person that's ever had problems with this kind of stuff. All right, he's gonna get it under control. And when Aaron Rodgers leaves, this will be a long-term trickle effect on how well he does. He's being tested by one of the greatest. Like, no, I don't need the ball here to the left. I need it right here.
Yeah.
I need it here. And he's going to tell him, stop fucking around. If you want to be here, stop fucking around.
He's already started that. He's already
that's what we need, man.
Well, I think he does that too. He holds all the receivers accountable too. He's holding everybody accountable and setting that standard really high. Mm-hmm. I think Tyrod Taylor does the same thing. So it's a lot of trickle down, a lot of leadership, a lot of just accountability, which is great. It's got to translate to the field, which is nice. So let's give us your take on Reddick, man, because you have a good football mind. Like, are you surprised the Jets are at this point right now?
I am surprised that they're at this point. But also they haven't been tested by a player before for this long. You know what I mean? It's never gotten to this point before. So now it's kind of like, all right, put up or shut up, both sides. Reddick, what are you going to do?
This. I mean, Quentin Williams is kind of, but I think we all really Yeah.
I think we all knew he was going to get paid. This is like you guys said, this is a completely different scenario. He's supposed to get paid in Philadelphia. He didn't get paid in Philadelphia. Everybody knows we knew what he wanted, but he is at that peak. He's over the peak, actually. 28 is the peak. He's going to be turning 30, I believe, and that's supposedly the downhill, right? But look at Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald didn't, he didn't take any decline. That guy was a monster when he left too, So
how do you resolve this?
I'll throw out two options. All right.
Okay.
And Neither of them are good. But just being honest here. A, if you want to play hardball, you eat the money and you make them sit. Because people like that don't want to sit. I'm telling you. He still has to.
He's going to show up though. He's going to show up.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not getting the best version of the player though. So you're going to be arrogant. All right, we're playing hardball. Meanwhile, he's going to sit out the rest of camp. And what player are you going to get when he actually does play? Not the best version of himself.
No, I believe that.
Is it worth it?
I don't think it's worth it. My other solution, I guess we'll say it that way, is going to sound stupid. Eat the third round draft pick. Cut him, save your money.
Cut him?
Yep. Cut him, save your money.
Jesus Christ.
So you're going to give the player exactly what he wants? I mean,
what's he getting? What is he getting paid?
He becomes a free agent, gets to choose wherever he wants to go. He'll get paid.
Who's going to pay him that?
He's going to get paid, dude.
Where is he going to get paid?
He's a top 10 pass rusher as a free agent.
Okay, but where is he going to get paid?
Somebody's
somewhere. 100%.
Somebody's going to pay him $24 million.
I'm not saying he's going to get $24 million, but he's going to get paid.
He's going to get a lot more. He's going to get from here.
Somewhere.
Well, he ain't going to play here. So what's the difference?
I just, of all the options, cutting him is not on my board. That's just
no. I get it. I didn't say it was a smart move. I'm just saying that is a weird solution. You know what I mean? If you want to save that money and you want to bring in a playmaker like Devontae Adams or something weird like that, or restructure something or whatever you want to do, whatever everybody's talking about. If you want to do something like that, right now the cap is at $19 million. Why? Because he's not on that roster.
Yep. That's
what we have. That is, in case anybody was wondering, when that goes down, it's going to be around 5 or 6.
Yep.
So it's like, what do we have to play with when he's here and when he's not here? That's kind of what we're looking at. I'm not saying they're good options. That's just, other than that, no side is happy.
See, the difference between Chris Jones and Reddick is Chris Jones has been with the Chiefs. Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different animal here.
Yeah.
Chris Jones, I mean, I don't know, man.
And not for nothing, exactly what you guys said, and Jake Assman said the same thing, okay? If you bring this guy in and you overpay him, you are going to kill the entire culture that you just tried to build the past 4 years.
Yep.
You're going to set a terrible example and say, you know what? This new guy that comes in, even though he's a little bit over the peak, he's still good, but we're going to give him the bag. Everybody's going to be lining up and be like, give me my fucking money.
Because I earned it. Yep.
Yeah, because I earned it. Now, piggyback onto that, I think this is going to sound crazy. Again, I'm putting a podcast thing about all of this. So, and Bubs is going to be on it, by the way. So Bubs is coming on.
There you go.
I believe that when Michael Carter comes to get paid, they're going to trade him.
What?
Yeah. How are you going to afford all these people?
Very easy. You don't re-sign DJ Reed. You keep Sauce to Michael Carter second.
Okay. What about Garrett Wilson? And what about Brees?
You got to find. Listen. Well, first Michael Carter second's up first. He's up now. You can do it now. You proactive and get a deal. Dude, there's no if Salah keeps preaching, I'm here to make my players money, and you literally watch this kid as your draft pick blossom into a star, and you don't keep him, the locker room's gonna be like, what the fuck are we doing here? Right? Prime time. That's like you're gonna let Huff go in the same situation. You let the Michael Carter second, I give up. I literally give up.
And DJ Reed's a little bit older. I think Stiggers is showing that he could also be a player and possibly kind of lessen that transition a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Carter's definitely earned a contract. I would pay him now. And I think with some of the other guys we're talking about, like Garrett and Brees, you can still tag. I mean, Brees, you don't have the 5th-year option. Garrett, Sauce, Jermaine Johnson, you do with them. So that buys you some extra time with both those guys. You can put the 5th-year option. You can franchise tag them after that. So those three, I feel like you have a little bit more leverage and a little bit more control over. But it's guys like Michael Carter, possibly AVT that you're going to have to worry about.
So my thing with this is this. Not that I wouldn't want to keep him. He's a savage. Okay, you can even see on other websites, they're saying he's a top 5 underrated player in all of the NFL. In all of the NFL. And that baffles me because there's a lot of players in the NFL. I think they do say that we want to pay them. We want to get them paid. We want to give them get to their full extension and get them paid.
Right.
The only thing that they didn't say is that we're not going to pay them.
Oh,
Look at Huff.
That's
Huff.
some bullshit, dude. If you're talking about culture within your organization,
I get it.
this is you keep your young nucleus. You take care of your own. That's how teams stay good. You take care of your own players. And there's ways, all kinds of creative ways to do it. If they don't, Michael Carter second would be a complete crime. That would just be. And the thing is, you could be proactive with it. Prime time. We keep saying it's like it's not. You don't have to wait to end this year like you did with Huff. Like, oh, go test the market and come back. No, get it done now. You know the player he is. It's just. I mean, they did it with John Franklin Myers a couple of years ago, right? They paid him in advance. What's now? These are players that are legitimate young stars that you know that are getting better. It's stupid.
So like as I do agree with you. Like you don't want to bring somebody in and be like, hey, look, we're trying to get you paid and we want you to stay here. But on the other end, are they going to pay? In my eyes, are they going to pay a slot corner? Not top money, but really, really good money to stick around when their defense has been more than good enough to supply and create players. But that's just like a factory.
The reason why their defense is so good is you have 3 cover corners that are very good. That's the first thing. Second thing is you need to keep those players in place. And you're like, it's like now it's like, all right, they're all like replaceable parts. Well, why pay Sauce then? The defense is so good, we don't need Sauce. Like that argument is I don't like that argument at all.
But he's not a slot. He's all around. But
like the slot corners get more important as the years go on.
I'll disagree with you on that. I'll disagree on that. That's my opinion. But
you think it's harder to find a slot corner than an outside corner?
I mean, Sauce can do everything. Can Michael Carter play the outside too?
That's not where he's at, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
What do you think, Prime Time?
I'm kind of with you on this one. I feel like slot corners are a little bit more difficult to find nowadays, but they also get paid a lot less. I mean, the top slot corner right now, I think, is Kenny Moore, making like 10 or 11 million a year on a 3 or 4 year contract. So, I mean, it's not even going to cost you a whole lot in comparison to what it might cost you for DJ Reed and eventually Sauce. His contract is probably going to be peanuts compared to those guys.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be interesting how it rolls out. I mean, I have a different opinion on a lot of stuff, which actually I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. But I will tell you this. I do want to run you guys by. I went to a class with Jets personnel and Phil Savage. So he taught us an entire class on basically the Bill Belichick way of scouting because he worked under Bill Belichick with the Cleveland Browns. And if I show you guys this, it's a completely different way of thinking of how everything's run. Like everything from first all the way to 7th round, what they're expected to do, their expectancies, backup, starter off the bat, potential, all this stuff. But I think you guys would love
Bill
this.
Belichick's drafting was terrible.
Well, his scouting was great, but his drafting wasn't the best. Yeah.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
All right, guys.
See you later.
What's up, man?
I feel bad because Dirty's a nice guy and he's very well spoken, but like I don't know. I don't know how to like calm down and just yell.
I think we're all a little angry tonight because of Reddick.
I'm tired of his shit. I just want to enjoy happy things.
We're all tired of it. We want to get to the season with everybody in camp, everybody healthy, not deal with any more of this bullshit.
And it's like the minute that news came out, I literally got like 10 texts. Only the Jets, same old Jets, typical Jets. It's like you get so tired of hearing it during a time that we should all be so excited and so happy, right? Like I was literally excited about Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, all these. I'm like, this is a really cool time to be a Jet fan. Then this shit happens, and it's like, come on, man. So do you want another like quality content call, or do you want a little curveball to the calls?
Let's go a little curveball.
You bastard. All right. What's up, man?
What's up? How you guys doing?
How are you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good right now. I'm visiting my cousins in Massachusetts and my great aunt.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
I'd introduce you to her, but she's old and she's not up here, so seeing new people kind of freaks her out.
No worries, man. How's your summer going?
And it's going fine, honestly, up until this. You're right. What I think happened, and I was listening, I think it was Jake mentioned it, that when they traded for him, I think what happened was when they traded JFM to Denver, that's when his agent got the idea to try to squeeze the Jets out for some extra money. So there was like a lack of depth. But you know how you avoid that?
you get a deal done prior to the trade. The deal's actually done.
I think that's the mistake that they should have finalized the deal with. They should have finalized the deal with Reddick before you consider the trade. I think that was just a miscalculation on their part. Obviously, they're not going to trade him. There's no logic in trading him at this point. It's a frustrating situation. But I think ultimately he's going to break.
You think he's going to break? Yeah. When is he going to break? At the when training camp is over? Is it worth it?
I don't know. I can't say. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, no, you can say. Do you feel okay with him missing the entire preseason, entire training camp, and just showing up right before the season saying, I'm ready to play now. I'm here. When he doesn't know the defense, doesn't know his teammates, doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I'd rather have him there. Like, I want him there. I don't think there's any Jets fan right now who doesn't want him there.
But how do you get him there? How does it get resolved?
I have no idea. I wish I could tell you the answer. If I could tell you the answer, I would tell you the answer.
Okay, I got a question for you. Do you want to see Aaron Rodgers play this preseason?
Probably, I want to see a bit because obviously you're having to have sat through all that entire stretch of mostly unwatchable quarterback play. I just want to get a little bit. I just want to remind myself what normal quarterback play looks like.
Wait, you didn't like the quarterback play on Saturday?
I don't know. I thought it was fine, but I just want to remember what, like, even if it's just preseason, I want to remember what elite quarter. I want to just see it. I just want to see him get out there, see him on the field. Because, after having to have sat through all that mess that was last year, I want to just see him play a bit, even if it's just the preseason.
I thought it made sense last year. New team, new environment, new uniform, new field. Like, just get the feel of it in the preseason. He's already done that now. He's been on the MetLife field. He's played his 4 snaps last year. He had his preseason snaps. Like, just get him through training camp, get him through these joint practices, and get ready for week 1. Like, that's my mindset.
But that's your mindset, and it's your right to have that mindset.
Wow, you're very accommodating tonight. You're very not combative. You're just easygoing tonight.
Very brave wearing a Yankee hat in Boston too, or in Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, no. My cousin's been cousin's diehard Boston sportsman, so he's been throwing every little bit of shit at me at every opportunity.
Not to worry.
Even though you mentioned Belichick's last loss as a professional head coach was against the Jets. Like, he has to make 10,000, and he's trying to just change the subject.
How did I know Belichick was going to get mentioned in this call somehow? That we couldn't escape.
Well, that's why I had to bring it back to Boston. I knew what I was doing.
At some point, the Patriots they're going to get involved in this phone call somehow.
But I'm just glad we're finally getting into football. I wish we didn't have to talk about this stuff. I wish we could just talk about enjoying the preseason, getting ready for the regular season.
I agree.
But it's unfortunate that it's just our lot in life as Jets fans.
Well, there's a lot of positives right now. This is a little setback, but I mean, hopefully they get it fixed sooner or later. But it's still an exciting time to be a Jet fan.
Oh yeah, no. I got obviously. I love the running backs. I mean, just what you need. Like just how the compliment Brees. It's gonna be just that two-headed monster.
Looks mesmerized right now. You look mesmerized, prime time.
I wish I was on his level, whatever it is. I don't know. Booze, gummies. I don't know. I wish I was there right now.
I'm not. I haven't had anything. I mean, you look tired, man. Well, yeah, driving. That's over a 3-hour drive from New York to Massachusetts.
It's true.
Gotcha.
Well, get some sleep, man. We appreciate you calling in.
Peace.
Have a good night.
You good, man? Stay safe.
You look completely mesmerized, man. You're just like staring, like, wow, this is intense.
I was trying to figure out like where he was going with that.
All right, a man that's now getting a lot of requests. They're like, you got to bring this guy on. Like, damn, shit's taking off with him now. What's up, man?
What's up? How's it going?
How you doing?
Thanks for having me on.
Well, at least your eyes are open. That's progress from the last call.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. Like all the good vibes now. It's just this is so same old Jets. just screams same old Jets. You look at when the crosstown Giants had the same thing happen, and they did it the right way. They got the deal done with Burns, bring him in. He's had a good camp. It's just like this never happens. Never. I can't. I can't. I mean, can you guys think of any other time this has ever happened where you trade a guy in March? He doesn't even he hasn't even strapped on a Jets helmet. He hasn't even put on a Jets jersey, and he hasn't even practiced. He hasn't even touched the grass at Florham Park, and he's already wants out. It's just
it's worse than Dimitri Patterson.
It's just like
Rose might be too young for that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I am.
So how do you fix it?
I would still try. I mean, like you guys have mentioned, and a lot of others callers have mentioned, I'm not going to give him a long-term deal because that's not going to sit well with the guys like DJ Reed, Michael Carter. Not only have those guys playing through their contracts right now and finishing out their years, but they've also been here through 2 really tough seasons where you go 7 wins back to back. Last year, you thought you had it with Rodgers. They go down. So they've been here through 2 losing seasons. They've played very, very well. You can't do that to those guys. And of course, you also got to pay Sauce. You're going to have to pay Garrett. Eventually down the road, you're going to have to pay Jermaine Johnson. So there's Brees eventually down the road. So you can't give him a long-term deal at this point. That wouldn't sit well. I'd still try and turn the non-guarantees into guarantees and try and pump them up on incentives. I know that's what the reports have said that the Jets tried to do. And there was that, of course, the handshake agreement. That's all the reports that have come out from the Jets side of things. You really haven't heard much from Reddick's camp, although now it'll start to get ugly. Both sides will kind of be going back and forth with each other, cat and mouse. But that's what I would try to do at this point. It's too many towels. That's what I would try to do at this point. But
I wonder also if, like, secretly in some ways, some of the guys in that locker room are actually rooting for Reddick to get played. Obviously, like, the players have their own little fraternity. They're always in each other's backs, have each other's backs. But, like, also long-term, like, does that increase their value, give them some more leverage? Like, would anybody else get paid more if they do hand out some extra money to Reddick? Like, I don't know if that would give anybody else some extra leverage or not.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, all the players have handled it, I guess, the right way. But you even question, too, where when he comes into the building, he goes, let's just say he comes back. How is he viewed around the locker room? Like,
They even asked Aaron Rodgers if he talked to Reddick. He said, no, I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
Mosley said he didn't talk to him at all.
Yeah, Mosley said that.
And both those guys took team-friendly deals. Mosley restructured his deal this year. Tyron Smith, we talked about before. He's got a team-friendly.
Rodgers took a historic.
So it seems like everybody's all in on trying to do the right thing for the team. And you got Reddick, and I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's frustrating. It's just, and it just goes back to we all kind of put, I don't want to say we put the Jets goggles on for it, but with the whole Bryce Huff situation, right? The Jets, Douglas handled that terribly. Even going back to,
wait, how do we put the Jets goggles on? We ripped them for it.
Well, no, I'm saying like with Reddick, when we traded for Reddick, everybody's like, oh, this is a great all-in move. Even
because we assumed that they were being competent.
No, yeah.
When they traded for him, we assumed the deal was getting done. We didn't think we'd ever get to this point.
No, I know. I agree. But there's still a lot of people out there that would have preferred them just hang on to Huff, and you would have never had to get into.
Yeah, but like if you look at it in the silo, we wanted to keep Huff, which is a move that everybody agreed to. But
no, yeah,
if your pivot move was getting Reddick, an accomplished pass rusher that's playing at a very high level in a win now year on this defense, it made a lot of sense. Like this year, Reddick's probably a better player than Huff. Over the next 3 or 4 years, that remains to be seen. But the move made sense. Like it's like if he's here and healthy and active, he's a very good player.
And
I agree. And it fits the. Oh, sorry. No, you can go.
I was going to say real quick. Even the Eagles coaches have acknowledged that Huff is still struggling a little bit with the early downs playing against the run. So kind of justifies a little bit of the Jets' position, thinking maybe they were upgrading with an every down player in Reddick.
And yeah, I mean he's 4th in sacks in the NFL over the last 4 seasons. He's elite. He's a guy that can close out games, dominate, especially the situations the Jets are going to be in this year. Teams are going to throw a lot late in games. You pin your ears back, he can get to the quarterback and shut down games and just get after him. So it totally agrees. He's an elite pass rusher. He's a game-changing talent. But what really stings for me is the whole JFM trade. He got the raw end of the stick. This was a guy that was great in the locker room, could play inside, could play outside, very solid player. Also, another guy that came in here, played well, earned a contract by his play on the field, and you got rid of him for nothing. So,
and the thing is too, is you look at the money he was willing to restructure his deal.
Yeah.
Look at the money he's getting paid in Denver right now.
I think it was 2 years, 17 million or 17.
Bro, it's a bargain compared to what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, it's tough. And And look, we need Reddick. I mean, Reddick's like we've said this for a while now. The Jets need Reddick. Reddick needs the Jets. He can't get into the situation where he sits out and then it's like turns into like a Le'Veon Bell situation. He's not even going to sniff the money that he wants if he sits out this year, and it won't be a good look either for him as well. But I mean, you can't. I just can't sit here and buy myself into Michael Clemens. Like, no chance. No chance. There's a lot of fans out there, I feel like, that are trying to talk themselves into, oh, Michael Clemens takes a jump. This guy's had 3 sacks in 32 games. You can't sit here and tell me. I mean, seriously, Reddick will do that.
What about Eric Watson?
I mean, he's looked good, but that's depth. That's against second and third team guys. I like Tack McKinley. I like Watts. McGregor's look good.
There's levels to it though. Like Reddick is so much further along than these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're comparing a UDFA out of UConn to a guy that's been in the NFL forever and is a 13, 14 sack guy when he's on. So it's tough, but it's just frustrating. The whole edge position, it was a strength of ours. It was a strength. Like, we had so many pieces, and now let's say Reddick doesn't play this year, and let's say Will McDonald hypothetically doesn't take a leap, then you're stuck with Jermaine Johnson next year, and that's it. And who else? I mean, maybe one of the UDFA guys step up. Maybe you don't want to come to conclusion just yet, because the Jets, you look at how they built their defense. Quincy Williams was cut. He placed on waivers. They turned him into something. Obviously, Tony Adams was a UDFA. JFM, of course, was.
But it's like you don't have a lot of time, though, bro. Like, you don't have a lot. This is literally you have like a 2-year window, and this year you're probably peaked at most to make a legitimate run at it. Do you want to take that calculated chance? Like, you know what? We're not going to deal with Reddick. Let's count on Watts and McDonald, all these guys. Like, do you really want to take that chance when you have a known commodity sitting here just wanting more money? It just doesn't sit well with me, man. Because I just don't want excuses. Like I told Primetime the other day, I'm like, I don't want excuses this year. And I'm like, well, they could have did this if they had X. We don't have time. Aaron Rodgers is not 25. Like we're hoping a 2-year window. Like it's now or never for this team. Yeah,
it'll be the whole everybody will get another year. Oh, we didn't have Reddick. No Reddick. Now what?
First you had the quarterback. We need the pass rusher. Now it's like everybody's trying to sell us on Will McDonald, who's got a lot to prove.
And I've liked what I've seen from Will McDonald. If the size, the size gives you some issues, though. He can't be an every down player. He's great spin move, great athleticism, great speed. Didn't put on a ton of weight. Didn't put on. The thing is,
dude, last year he caught people by surprise because nobody ever saw him play before. Yeah. Now, like Primetime said, they've had an NFL offseason to study the Jets defense and all their players. So when you face Will McDonald, all right, here's the 3 moves he has.
Yeah.
What else can he do? True. Like Trent Williams. All right, now I know what you do, kid. He's going to just grab him. And like, how do you get away from him? Trent Williams' report gets done. But, it's like, I don't know.
I mean, what do you like deep down? Do you think he plays? He holds out?
No, I'll keep saying it. I think once training camp is over and preseason's over, he shows up. And the Jets are going to be completely screwed. He's going to be here, not know shit about the defense, not be in the best of shape. You could be in shape, but not football shape.
That's the biggest problem. Yeah, he's not.
And then he gets hurt.
Football shape.
It's right. That's somebody. It's like you just had the feeling he's going to be here.
I kind of think you're right, but also if we're getting to September 7th or 8th, and you add up all the fines at that point, if you're talking about like $4 million plus in fines, I don't know what it would actually add up to. But if it's like 33% of his contract, is he really going to risk that additional $9 million that he can earn to potentially get injured and risk a long-term deal next year?
Yeah, that's true too.
Does he even show up? Like if the fines add up to $4 or $5 million bucks,
or just shows up and says he's hurt,
and that would be. And you made a good point too, Tyson. It's kind of interesting at this point that he hasn't even done like a hold-in or whatever they call them, hold-ins or whatever they are.
That's the easiest way to make easiest way to be a distraction.
Yeah, and make the Jets look bad then, because if he's here, he's like, oh, I'm here. You got to pay me now. The Jets, of course, their excuse has been you're not in the building, or that's been their reason for not giving him a deal. But it's ugly. I mean, I don't know. This could have all been avoided. I don't know how they didn't. And I get both sides of it, but I don't know how they he wasn't going to go to leave Philly a Super Bowl contender. I understand Jets healthy will be should be a Super Bowl contender, but he's not going to leave Philly, come to the Jets and say, man, this organization's great. I don't want the money. Like
exactly.
It's like
the Jets are such a great winning organization. That going to love being
organization. Here. They've done so much winning. I want to be here and absorb the great culture that Robert Saleh's setting. This is great. Like there's no way that's true. I don't know.
Bubs, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, I have one quick question for you guys.
Good.
Are you guys doing any like tailgate stuff for this upcoming season? Or I know you guys.
Primetime got season tickets. That's Kim.
Yeah,
Where you going?
I'll be there for all the home games. I don't know what I'm doing yet, like tailgate wise, but I'll be there for the home games.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a good night, man.
Right. Yep. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one.
Yep, you good, man.
All right. Tyson, off-topic question. Going to CFFC 34. Oh, Frank Wells. I know Frank Wells very well. He's the co-main event. So he's fighting they changed his opponent, but I know him well. Dawkins is the champion. He's the main event. I would bet him as well. But that's you're going to enjoy it. CFFC does a tremendous job with it. It's a really cool event. They do a really good job with that. Let's see. There's another good funny comment. There's a lot of funny comments in here. Let's see.
That's in mid-season form.
Yeah, everybody's angry. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is the new logo is from Gator. Actually, Gator sent it to us. He's like, "Hey man, I can't see your logo. Let me send you one." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't know what it was. So the top right hand side of our screen, you can now see our Let's Talk Jets logo.
That's cool.
That was Gator. So thank you to that. All right, prime time. We have our cleanup hitter of the evening, who has a very special guest with him.
Uh-oh.
What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
How you doing?
Someone here named William wanted to turn the negativity around. He says the Jets are just winners. It's all they've done since he's been born. So he's like, we got to be positive. They're winners. They won on Saturday.
How old is he?
The Jets are the best team ever.
How old is he?
6 months.
Oh, get him out now, man. Get him out now.
I got it. The first time
you missed all the bad days already.
Someone gave us Jets onesies when he was little, and the first time I put it on him, he burst into tears. And I said, "Oh no!"
He should have spit up on it. Be even better.
I said, "This is the sign of what's to come, kid. Get used to it." So try and be happy. So
that's awesome.
The joke last year when my wife was pregnant was I was going to tell everyone if the Jets made the Super Bowl, we were going to name him Aaron Rodgers, but that lasted 4 plays.
Yeah, it's rough times, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah. So, but he's excited. So
you look excited.
They were selling the Aaron Rodgers jerseys on the Jets website for babies was still discounted, like making me wonder if they thought, maybe he's not ready yet. They were still like 50% off or 80% off or something ridiculous.
I'm sure you can get Reddick jerseys pretty cheap right now.
Oh yeah. That would be great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Doesn't even have to.
Are you excited about the season?
Oh, completely psyched. Yeah, can't wait. So
the Reddick stuff doesn't bother you at all?
What was that?
The Reddick stuff doesn't bother you at all?
It's annoying, but I just have to be positive and hope that it gets worked out.
So what's your record prediction? How many wins this year?
At least 11.
Does that win the AFC East?
I believe so.
It better.
I think the beginning of the season, living in California now, we do pick up a lot of the San Francisco chatter down here in LA, and it sounds like their O-line is a mess. Ayuk not wanting to play for them. I think if we could win that game, and then we have a bunch of kind of backup quarterbacks or rookies, and we could be going into the bye looking really, really good.
I agree.
I think that game's clearly the toughest one on the schedule, and you might be catching them at the right time between Trent Williams, Ayuk, McCaffrey's a little banged up right now. Like
I completely agree.
That's awesome.
Just keeping fingers crossed, and hoping for the best. Of course, we were hoping for that last year, but maybe it will come to fruition for once in my life and hit. I bet he'll get a big success in his life, and the Rex, then we'll go back to what we've always had as the Jet fan base.
Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Tyson. I'm going to be in Tom's River back at home next month. I'm going to drop off a Saturday Stairs shirt for you.
Awesome.
Can I just drop it off at your gym or something?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Message me.
Yeah, I'll just message you on Instagram.
All right, cool, man.
Cool. Okay.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Love you, man.
All right, there's that.
That's the first baby we've had on the show.
I think it is.
Right?
Primetime, any final thoughts here?
No, just hope this Reddick situation gets resolved soon. Excited to get out to camp tomorrow. So see what happens.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Anything happens, we will go live. If not, we're just going to sit here and complain. So talk to you guys next week.
Later.